Hi Greedy 3Ders and welcome to Greedy 3D. Today we're going to be making this, the Malix 3D Design Iron Man model, but I'm going to be doing something a little bit differently. I'm going to be making it with some cotton wool smoke effect. Looks like he's taking off. Never done anything like this before. It's trial and error. It's suck it and see. Let's see how we got on. Stay tuned to the end and you can see the end result. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Here's the model on Malix 3D Design. It's the Iron Man 3D printable model, and this is the one we're doing today. I've already downloaded this. I've had to reduce it by 50% to get it onto my Elegoo Mars 2, and I've printed it in two portions. We're not going to go through the printing process. We're going to go straight on to it's finally printed, and here is what it looks like after printing. The Elegoo Mars has not let us down. Look at the detail in that, absolutely incredible. Came in about 7 parts, I believe it was. It's all been printed and glued together now. I've still got to do just a little bit of cleaning up where some of the supports have still left little bubbles on it, but I am really pleased with the overall design. Printed in about 8 hours in 2 batches, as I say, and wow, absolutely love it. Let's have a little bit of a closer look at the base. Some great detail there, and just zoomed right into the chest plate so you can have a look. So it's time to give him a base coat of metallic red, and this is the paint colour that I'm using. It is metallic rot. Doesn't sound very nice, does it? Metallic red paint that we're just going to give him a base coat with, and then I'm going to touch up the gold afterwards. So let's have a look what he looks like. Probably going to need a couple of coats of this, but as you can see, that is a lovely metallic cover. Wonderful. So let's move on to the next process. I've took a USB lead and I've stripped it down and taken away the green and the white wires, which just leave me the red and the black, and I've threaded those through the base of the model where I've already drilled a hole, and I'm just going to hot glue them in place with a little bit of dowel just to extend Iron Man away from the base. Now I've took some 12 volt LED lights, and I'm using 6 lights, 2 white, 2 orange and 2 red, and I'm going to wire all the lives together, all the negatives together. The 2 whites will be at the bottom, the amber ones will be in the middle, and the red ones will be just underneath Iron Man's feet. Just make sure you wire them together and you don't touch the blacks to the reds. And just to make sure that I separate them, I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue, and I'm going to put a seal around all the joints. We don't want the live and the negative touching. And I'm also then going to use a little bit of electrical tape just to protect them even more. Now once those wires are in place, and I did do a quick test just to make sure that they are all working, I'm going to put them in position where we want them roughly. I don't want too many wires exposed inside. So I'm wrapping them all around just to leave the bulbs sticking out where I want them to be. And the next step then is some cotton wool. Just pull it apart with your fingertips, a little bit of hot glue, and just build it around the base. You want wider at the bottom and narrower as it's going up towards his feet. It's a bit time consuming, this bit, just pulling it all out, just making sure it doesn't look too bunched up, and adding hot glue, cotton wool, hot glue, cotton wool. I'm just pulling some bits of the cotton wool out to make it look like wispy bits of smoke, and adding a few bits here and there. Now you can see the bits that are coming out now. We don't want a blob, you want to separate it a bit. If you notice the colour has changed slightly, it's gone a bit black. I've just given it a blast with some black spray paint. Now we're moving on to Iron Man. I'm using some Imperial Gold paint, some Army Painter paints, to just touch him up in areas. Just look at the reference pictures online and just use your eye. A pair of those magnification glasses are great. and just start adding some gold to him. Once the gold has all been added, I've used a big brush, a dab of silver, and I've just brushed him all over to give him like a brushed metal effect, and took some Imperial Blue paint from Army Painter and just touch up his chest plate and his hands. So let's have a look now at the final result. As often happens when you make something in this hobby, the end result wasn't quite what I expected it to be, and I didn't really like the cotton wool. It looked okay, but it just wasn't doing it for me. So it was my wife that suggested using something else, something that you stuff cushions with, stuff teddy bears with. It's this stuff. It's a lot coarser than cotton wool, and it kind of adds a really good cloud smoke kind of effect. So I stripped all the cotton wool off it and recovered it using the same process in this stuff, this packing material, and I am much happier with the result. Now, that's not to say cotton wool isn't okay. It's not to say it wasn't the right choice. It just wasn't for me. And I'll use it again in future, and I may even mix the two. But again, it's trial and error. You try it when you do your own model, see what you think. And I'd be really interested to see your comments below about if there's anything else that we can use to get the same effect. So this is the updated version. Hope you enjoy it. Well, there you go. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I must say I'm really pleased with Iron Man. Never done this before. It's like anything else in this hobby. There's a first time for everything, and I'm really enjoying discovering some of the new things we can do. Hope you've enjoyed today. If you have enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, but it really does help me out. And stay tuned, because the next video that I'm going to be releasing within the next couple of weeks will be a helmet. It's going to be an FDM print. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be, well, actually, you'll have to wait and see for that one. Thanks again. Have a good day. Please subscribe.